Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crimson Diamond, where we've just started Chapter 5. Just to give you an idea of how far along we are in the game, I think we're a little bit more than halfway through the game now because, well, I've not played through the game before, but looking at the walkthrough that I'm using, the walkthrough indicates that the game has 7 chapters. And again, we've just started Chapter 5, so we've finished 4 out of 7, so, a little more than half of the way there. And yeah, I think using the walkthrough is the right thing to do. I'm always kind of torn because, when you make these videos, there's always kind of that balance between rushing through things too much and really taking time to do everything. But in a game like this, I really think it does get boring just to watch somebody bumble around when they don't know what they're doing, because it can take literally like hours to figure out how to solve a puzzle, and that's not fun to watch. So I think actually that at this point, using the walkthrough is the right thing to do when I get stuck. But right now, I don't think I'm stuck. I think it's pretty obvious that we need to check this stuff here on this jetty. I would call it a pier. Oh, that's what she said before. That's the thing she always says. I'm just curious now. What is the difference between a pier and a jetty? Because I would have instinctively called this a pier. I'm going to Google pier jetty differences. What is the difference between a pier and a jetty? And answer comes from Quora, which is, of course, always a highly accurate and unimpeachable source of information. Lol. Pier is a structure extending into navigable water for use as a landing place or promenade or to protect from a harbor. A jetty is a landing stage or small pier at which boats can dock or be moored. Okay, so a jetty is a small pier, according to this. Okay, another answer from Reddit. What is the difference between a dock, a pier, a quay, a berth, a jetty, and a dock? I think they mentioned dock twice for some reason. A jetty is a pier that is built on fill. It runs out into the water where there's no space underneath it. Okay. All right. I'm not quite sure that I understand that answer, but that's okay. I've already spent more than enough time on something that's actually not relevant to the game. So let's take a look around. So the jetty here, this is all the stuff we saw before. There appears to be an altercation here. Yes, there are scuff marks and what might be a shoe print on the jetty. Okay. See puddles of liquid and overturned drinking glass and what looks to be, okay. Crystal decanter broken into jagged shards. Okay, so we oh dear. Okay, we've got a lot of stuff here. So actually, let's just take this one step at a time. So scuff marks. Examine scuff marks. Got to remember to say examine, not look at, but examine scuff marks, because that's her cue to look at them with her loop that she has. The direction of the scuff marks appear to lead away from the jetty and into the woods to the north. And these scuff marks were made by rubber-soled shoes. I'm not sure exactly whose shoes made these scuff marks. I'll need to look into that. Mr. Richards could have made the scuff marks, but I'll need to find out what kind of shoes he wears. All right. Fair enough. All right, so that's the scuff marks. What was the next thing? The shoe print. Examine the shoe print. You assert the shoe print came from a size 14 foot. These are obviously American sizes. In Europe, that would be what would that be? That would be probably like 30 something or maybe 40. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm going to say either roughly 40, maybe, at least close to 40. If not 40, then probably 30 something in Europe. First of all, I need to determine whether Mr. Richards made himself any of the shoe prints I've found. Did Jack encounter Mr. Richards during this incident? I should find him and ask about his shoe size. Who knows what size Nessa's feet are under that long skirt? I'll need to investigate. Where have I seen Kimmy walking around outside? Could she have left some shoe prints on moist ground? What would be an unobtrusive way to learn Corvus's shoe size? I wonder if he's left any shoe prints around here. Albert could be mixed up in all this, but I'll need to find out his shoe size before I can say for certain one way or another. Nathan could have made those shoe prints. I certainly can't rule him out. Have I seen Nathan walking in an area where he could have left shoe prints? I think so, and not too long ago. Type size check to review whose shoe sizes you still need to learn. Okay. Well, I guess the game is pretty straightforward with its puzzles. I mean, at least it's not... It's clearly telling you that this is just as we had to mess around with everybody's fingerprints in the previous chapter. Now we have to mess around with everyone's shoe sizes in this chapter. Okay. At least this game wears its puzzles on its sleeve. Well, it doesn't really have a sleeve, but on its whatever. Okay, so we have the scuff marks and the shoe print. Puddles of liquid. So we got liquid, glass, and decanter. All right, examine puddles. Liquid here has yet to be absorbed into the dock. Even in the moonlight, you can see that it's golden yellow and that it's whiskey. How can you see that it's whiskey? I understand you could see the color, but how could you? I mean, gold and yellow could be urine or beer or other things. What a waste! Waste of good whiskey. Albert's just been killed, but Nancy is worried that that they wasted whiskey by spilling whiskey on. The liquid on the jetty is definitely alcohol and not river. How can you tell? Even in sunlight, like even in broad daylight, I think that would be hard to tell because the wood of the jetty is obviously brown anyway, so you wouldn't really see the color of the liquid very clearly. How can you tell that's definitely alcohol and not river water? Mr. Richards was here not that long ago. If he'd drunkenly fallen into the river, I'd expect to see watermarks on the jetty where his impact caused splashes. Besides the spilled alcohol, the jetty is dry. Okay, so yeah, he didn't fall into the water. He was dragged. I mean, we saw already that the scuff marks seem to indicate movement away from the water. So somebody dragged him away from here. Not somebody didn't kick him into the water. They dragged him in that direction into the forest. Okay, fine. Let's examine the glass. The glass has been knocked over. Its contents spilled out onto the jetty. All right. What a waste of good Canadian whiskey. You think you can only see an oily mark on the outside of the overturned whiskey glass. That could be a fingerprint. All right. Put soot on glass. Just overturn drinking glass for prints and reveal. A fingerprint. Whoops. I didn't catch what she said because I was trying. Sorry, I didn't catch what Nancy said. Get fingerprint. Piece of paper. All right. What was the command? Compare fingerprints. Upon closer examination of the fingerprint you obtained from the overturned drinking glass, you conclude this is Evan's fingerprint. Okay, so it's nothing really it's nothing really revelatory. I mean, we know that we saw Evan drinking here, so the fact that his fingerprint is on his glass that he was drinking from is not. Yeah. I did see Mr. Richards drinking out of this glass earlier. Okay, so that's not. Oh man, she keeps doing that. It first pops up this message here saying a note has been added to your notebook, and so I press enter to clear that, and just as I'm pressing enter to clear that, Nancy says something. Bad timing. She really likes to say things like a couple of seconds after this pop-up appears here. Sorry, I will maintain that it's not entirely my fault. That's Nancy's penchant for saying things just when that pop-up pops up. What was the other thing? The decanter. Let's examine the decanter. You peer at the shattered remains of what is clearly the crystal decanter from the dining room. I last saw this in Mr. Richards' hands, and he was seated right here on this jetty. What on earth happened here? Oh my, the decanter would have needed to be picked up and thrown down with some force to break it like this. The heavy crystal decanter has been broken into dozens of jagged shards. I think I see oily imprints. I wonder who's been handling this decanter recently. Besides Mr. Richards, that is, because I doubt he would have broken the decanter intentionally. Okay, I'm going to wait now. Okay, now she doesn't say anything. Now when I actually waited before pressing enter, now she didn't say anything. All right, put soot on decanter. Here, this crystal decanter. It fragments to reveal 2 fingerprints. Is she going to say something? No. Okay. Get fingerprints. Fingerprints. Okay. I'm going to wait for her to say something. Now she doesn't. Now when I wait for her, she doesn't say anything. All right. Compare fingerprints. Yeah, we already got that from the glass. I know, we got that from the glass. Evans and Nessa's fingerprints on the crystal decanter fragments. Okay. So did... I'm skeptical that Nessa dragged... I mean, Evan's a big guy and Nessa's an older woman and rather... probably not very physically strong. I doubt that she could have dragged Evan away from this jetty here, so it must have been someone else who did this. Is there any evidence of Mr. Richards' movements on the jetty? I should take a closer look and try to find some of his footwear, too. This is what we already did. I think this is her telling us, giving her some further clues, but we already did that. Yeah, we already talked about this. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I mean, we saw Jack and Nathan here earlier, but they left before Evan was here drinking, so. On everyone's shoe sizes? Yeah, I know. Fingerprint on the glass door belongs to... Wait, what? Oh, she's talking about something else. She's talking about... I think she's talking about the glass that we have in her inventory and not this glass that was knocked over on the jetty. Okay, all right, that's fine. I guess we've checked all the stuff here. Let me just quickly check this. Did I miss anything? I guess not. All right. I guess we checked everything we need to check here. So let's go in the direction of... Uh-oh. You see some possible signs of a struggle. There are scuffs and shoe prints in the grass and on the path, and some tree branches have been snapped off. Note is added to your notebook. All right, so let's check our notebook and see what's going on. So, yeah, we already checked the scuffs on the jetty, the shoe print. Yeah, I know we need to get the shoe sizes of everyone. He didn't fall from the jetty into the river. Okay. Yeah, we found Nessa's fingerprint on that decanter, but I kind of doubt that she was... I mean, at least she wouldn't have been the only person there. If Evan was dragged, like if somebody dragged Evan all this way, you can see the drag marks going off in that direction, Nessa couldn't have done that. So she must have been... If she was there, then she must have been working with someone else. Let's get forest north of jetty for clues. All right, well, we're here. I mean, we can take a look around. Yeah. Puddles of liquid haphazardly scattered along the path here, lit by the moon. The more you look at the scene, the more convinced you become that whatever happened at the jetty continued in this part of the woods. Duh, obviously. You see scuffs and shoe prints in the grass on the path to the south and east. You can also see some freshly broken branches. I don't like the looks of this. All right, can we examine the puddles? Puddles of whiskey. Come on. If whiskey spills on the ground, it's going to soak into the ground. It's going to soak into the soil, the earth. It's not going to just remain examinable like that. The puddles of whiskey are staggered at irregular intervals, both on and off the path, almost as if whomever was responsible for them was also staggering. This doesn't bode well. All right, so can I say examine the scuff marks again? What scuff you'd like to examine? I guess these. Upon closer examination, the scuffs on the southern path, you conclude that someone was dragged from the jetty and into this area. Yeah, no kidding. And it was a bit of a struggle by the looks of it. The scuff marks on the jetty are clear and made on the wooden jetty. If I can identify those ones, you would help me identify the ones here. Yeah, so she's saying they're the same marks. I mean, duh, come on. They're obviously the same marks. The same person who was taken from the jetty was dragged through the forest here. I mean, that was kind of obvious. The scrapes in the grass are deep, as if someone was literally digging their heels in to resist an outside force. The scuffs and scrapes are definitely leading away from this part of the forest and down the eastern path. I need to identify the scuff marks on that jetty. Those ones are made on a hard surface, which might help in identifying them. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's also fairly obvious. So we looked at the liquid. Yeah, we looked at the scuffs. We need to look at the shoe prints and the branches. Okay, so examine the shoe prints. Well, I don't know, where are the shoe prints? Are there any down here? You see a smattering of shoe prints here that appear to come from two different size shoes. Most of these look like they came from a size 14 foot, but there are a few here that look to be size 8. Okay, so size 14 is consistent with the size that we found at the jetty, and size 8 is obviously a lot smaller. That's like almost half that size. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Nessa wears a size 8, because that's like a smaller size, but size 14 is probably Evan. Some shoe prints on the path. Some of these look like the same size 14 shoe, but there are smaller footprints too, possibly a woman's size 8. Okay, so we already have Nessa's fingerprint on the decanter, so a woman's shoe would suggest Nessa's Again, that would suggest Nessa's involvement. It would suggest that she was at least here, present. But again, I just don't believe that Nessa's that strong. I mean, I don't know how old she is, but she's obviously a bit of an older lady. She can't be that strong. She can't be strong enough to just drag Evan by herself. There must have been someone else working with her. Okay, so what did I miss anything? I know we need to look at the branches. There's obviously something hanging from that branch there that I've been leaving because it's so obvious. I'm trying to do the less obvious stuff first. Yeah, okay, so just the branches, I guess. All right, so yeah, there's obviously something here that's hanging from that branch. Let's go ahead and take a look at the branch here. Tree branches stick out like arms, ready to cling and scratch at unwary passers-by. Paths are pretty clear of any obstructions. The branches off to the side of the path look like they've been bent and broken. Yeah, I know. Look at branch. Yeah, I know. Come on. Oh, examine branch. Increases in long brown and gray hairs caught in the tree branches. Gosh. You know what? I don't know. I don't remember people's hair colors. I think Nessa and Evan are both old enough that their hair is gray already. Nessa doesn't have long brown hair, does she? I don't think she does. Actually, who might have long brown hair is Nathan, the native Indian, because he has those long kind of like braids. So that actually might be Nathan's hair. Jack is bald. So it's obviously not his hair. Who else has long brown hair? Kimmy has long hair, but it's black. Yeah, actually, the only person I can think of with long brown hair is Nathan. Am I missing anyone? I can't think of anyone else. Huh. Long brown and gray hairs. These look familiar. Oh, and the gray ones are probably... Okay, the gray ones are probably Nessa. Okay, it would make sense that Nessa... Okay, so Nessa and Nathan maybe were working together, but then you'd see Nathan's footprints, unless Nathan also wears size 14. It's possible that Nathan wears size 14, and you don't see Evan's footprints because he was being dragged. So you see his heel marks, you see the drag marks from his feet, but those size 14 and size 8 shoes could be respectively Nathan's and Nessa's shoes. That would make sense, I guess. I mean, I'm just guessing based on the shoe size. Can I get the hair? I guess we can. Take some long brown and gray hairs. These might be useful bits of evidence. I mean, to be fair, they're hardly evidence of anything except... All right, whatever. All right. Did I miss anything here? So, I guess I did not. All right, let's move on and check the scene to the east. Hello? Nancy, you probably don't want to draw attention to yourself. Signs of a struggle continue in the area around the smokehouse. The scuff marks and shoe prints continue along the path and into the smokehouse. The door to the smokehouse is shut tight, but you can also hear some indistinct noises inside. Eek! Alright. Yeah, this is... Okay. Tiny specks sparkling in the moonlight. Tiny specks and scuff marks and shoe prints. I really don't like the look of this. Something round and metallic shining on the path. Okay, so we've got a... It looks like a button. Oh, yeah. This little thing there. Put the button. A shiny metal button is lying on the path. All right. Get the button. The round metal button. All right. What is with the button? Let's see now. Oh, these are the hairs. Long green brown hairs you found caught in the broken branch of the tree. I'm going to guess the only people who have long hair are Kimmy, Nessa, and Nathan. Does anyone else have long hair? Margot, but yeah, her hair was blonde, but she's dead now, obviously. Other than that, yeah, I think just Nessa, Nathan, and Kimmy. And again, they have gray, brown, and black hair. So Kimmy's not implicated, but Nathan and Nessa are. These long gray and brown hair still have their follicles, indicating they were removed with some force. I found these caught in some broken branches. Looked like there was a struggle in the woods. Only Nessa has hair like this. Okay, so... Alright, Nancy identified it pretty clearly. Well, I mean... Okay, Nessa might still have some brown hair. I mean, I guess maybe her hair is not entirely gray, so maybe she has, like, streaked... Does she have streaked gray and brown hair? I don't remember... I remember her hair just being gray. I don't know. We'll check when we talk to her next time. Aha! So this button belongs to Corvus. How can you tell? How do you know the button belongs to Corvus? I need to examine the scuffs from the smokehouse more closely. Maybe that will reveal something. How do you know it belongs to Corvus? It's shiny and appears to be pretty new. Okay, but how do you know it belongs to Corvus? Oh, that's interesting. This message appears twice. So first we see this, and then she says this. But if I click, she says it a second time. All right. All right, whatever. So examine the scuffs. The scuff marks lead into the smokehouse. Yeah, no kidding. What a surprise. Uh-oh. Who could have made these scuff marks? What a surprise. Never would have expected that. Examine the shoe prints. I guess we'll see once again size... oh, it helps if I can spell examine. I'm guessing we'll see again size 14 and 8. Yep. Size 14 and size 8 shoes. All right. It appears that... Really? Whose shoe prints are these? Learning everyone's shoe size. Let me figure that out. Yeah, okay, we know. We need to find everyone's shoe size. Okay, what did... Oh, yeah, specs. The game mentioned some specs. What are these specs? The tiny, shiny specks are only visible in the moonlight. They are impossible to examine closely. Why are they impossible to examine closely? Put your loop on them or over them. All right, so tiny specks, scuff marks, shoe prints. Okay, we examined everything. Let's go ahead and save here outside the smokehouse. And just before I go in, let me just check. Did I miss anything? I guess not really. Well, there are two things here that I guess I didn't do. First thing is apparently there's some liquid. The game didn't even mention liquid, but... Okay. The walkthrough says to examine the liquid, but it... Okay. All right. So, okay, that's fine. The other thing that I guess we should do before we go in is listen with the glass at the door. That makes sense. You can clearly hear someone inside the smokehouse. Judging from the heavy footsteps and the low tones of someone muttering under their breath, you conclude it's likely a man, and he seems agitated. Uh-oh. Well, let's do the smart thing and go right inside. Let's just walk in and confront a murderer. You open the smokehouse door. Oh! Nancy, I'm busy in here. Please step outside. Nathan is frantically rummaging in the smokehouse. Nathan, where's Mr. Richards? What's happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. To be fair, I would be pretty agitated in this situation as well. I can't really tell if Nathan is... I mean... I don't know. If I were the murderer, I probably wouldn't be stupid enough to be seen here at the site of something that's obviously happened. But you could kind of use reverse psychology because actually I seem to recall reading that serial killers actually often do return to the scenes of their crimes because they want to see what's going on, and they figure that no one's going to suspect them because nobody thinks that the killer would be dumb enough to go back to the place where the murder happened. So maybe he's counting on us to say, yeah, nobody would be dumb enough to just poke around here when there's... I don't know. If you don't have any helpful information, please leave me to figure this out. Oh, of course. On one hand, I'm relieved that I didn't stumble onto anything ghastly. But on the other, where's Mr. Richards? And what's happened to him? I'll need to come to some conclusions and present them to Nathan. Maybe then he'll let me into the smokehouse and I can continue my investigation. I'm going to need to figure out who was involved in the scene I found at the jetty. Yeah, that's a great idea, Nancy. Just like you did with Nessa. Hey, remember how you talked to Nessa and told her all that evidence you have against her about Margot's death? Let's do the same thing with Nathan. Let's tell him, hey Nathan, I found all this evidence that suggests that you killed Evan. What do you think about that? Give me your advice now. I just found like 20 pieces of evidence that would implicate you in a murder. Tell me your advice about what I should do with them. What a great idea. Okay. Um, I guess. I guess. All right. Well, I guess now we need to just go and check all the footprints. So the walkthrough says we did this already, but we're supposed to check the footprints here a second time. Does that make sense? Am I understanding that correctly? Yeah, size 14 foot. Yeah, we already know about the size 14 and the size 8 feet. So yeah, size 14 and 8 feet are next to these dragging marks through the grass. Okay, well I guess one. So at least talking about Kimmy, I think where we could get Kimmy's footprints is probably from here because this is where she was observing these birds, these cormorants, and she was standing. I'm guessing the ground here is probably kind of moist, so probably we could. Let's see. Can I examine the ground? There's a lot of sunlight here, and it's grown thick and lush. However, the land slopes gently toward the river. The ground is noticeably wetter, and the rocks are slick with moisture. It wouldn't be safe to get too close. Kimmy's shoe prints are clearly visible in the ground near the riverbank. Okay. Eek! She got pretty close to the edge. She was lucky not to fall in. Okay, that's what I figured. I thought that Kimmy's footprints would probably be on the screen. So examine footprints. Okay, upon closer inspection, Kimmy's footprints include she wears a size 6 or 6.5. Yeah, I figured she had small feet, and I mean, just Asian stereotypes. And yeah, I don't think we're looking for Kim. I don't think Kimmy's guilty because she's obviously the analog in this game to. Actually, I shouldn't give away any spoilers. Just in case anyone hasn't played the Cardinal's Bequest, I probably shouldn't. Never mind, forget I said anything. Now, we want Albert's foot. We haven't seen Albert for a while, but we want his foot size. Would his feet be perhaps imprinted on the ground here where he was working? I don't. I guess we don't see his footprint. Okay, we don't see his footprints here. What about here at the carriage house? Is anyone's footprint visible here? Guess not. Okay, you don't see any shoe prints or other interesting marks. Okay. Thanks for letting us know. That was a straightforward enough answer. The game knows that we're looking for footprints, shoe prints. So, all right. Okay, I guess we won't get any from here. That's fine. What about from here? Nathan and Jack have shoe prints all along the riverbank. Can I examine footprints? Jack was walking quite simply on this part of the riverbank. The shoe prints are size 12. Okay, so Jack wears a size 12. I mean, they could have been going back and forth. I mean, yeah, when we came in, we saw Jack on one side and Nathan on the other, but they could have easily been going back and forth. Okay, whatever. And on this side, we have... The shoe prints of the bridge are quite large and freshly made. Considering witness Nathan making these shoe prints, I can conclude he wears size 16. Okay, so Nathan's... Okay, so these guys are 12 and 16. Neither of them matches the 14 that we saw. Okay, so Nathan is not the size 14 shoes that we saw, I'm guessing. Assuming that that's accurate. Can I cross the bridge now, please? No. I haven't accomplished my goals. Okay, what about here? Oh, we've already examined the footprints here. Here we just have, yeah, these size 14 footprints. Is there anything here? No, guess not. All right. Okay, well, we've examined these areas outside. Just looking at this. Are these footprints on the ground here, or probably not? No, okay. Oh, but there are puddles of liquid. Huh, why are there... I mean, come on. Realistically, like, puddles of liquid spilled on grass like this would have long since been absorbed into the ground. But, okay. Examine puddles. If this most of it has been absorbed by the grass, we can still smell it. It's definitely alcohol. It's unmistakably Canadian whiskey. I don't understand, though, because... Oh, actually... Oh! Somebody didn't realize that. Sorry, excuse me. Somebody didn't realize that the drag marks go this way, but those little yellow puddles of liquid go this way. So actually, those are two separate things. Oh, and they continue along this way, so that means they go up here, and then they go into this. Huh? What happened here? So they lead to here, but I don't see them after that. I don't see them here. So they led us to the dining room here, but I guess the question is, in which direction was that person going? It could, I mean, I took the path from the jetty to here. It could have just as easily been that somebody else was drinking here in the dining room and then walked outside through the door and then drunkenly staggered to the jetty and left the puddles going in the other direction rather than the direction that we went. So I guess that's possible as well. Okay, let's see. So, let's see. What's the command to size check? Are you ready for a size check? I just figured, yeah, I know. Whose shoe prints in the woods in the north of the jetty? Their shoe was leading to the smokehouse. Oh. Kimmy wears 6.5. She wasn't involved. What a relief. Okay. Right, and Nathan wasn't involved either. Okay. So actually, we still have quite a few people. We still have quite a bit of shoe. We still have quite a bit of footwork to do. Lol. Okay. All right. Oh, I need to. Always my bane, having to delete old save games when my save folder gets full. All right, so let's just delete a few more old saves. Goodbye to Krakelar, my Krakelar save game. All right, that should be enough for now. Let's turn autosave back on, and yeah, doing some footwork. It's a weak pun, I know, but I tried. Okay, I guess that's all for now. Next time we will continue doing some more examination of people's shoe sizes and footprints, shoe prints that we find in different places as the mystery continues, the mystery deepens. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. I will talk to you folks all later. Bye-bye for now.